TriElemental Blood Mage. I've been using this build in Cruel 1 and it's been working so well. It's good against big waves of monsters, it's good against bosses. If you are in a very hard situation to deal, you can use this build for every situation. So let's talk about it. Don't forget to subscribe. Hello guys and welcome to one more video about Path of Exile. This one I'm talking about this new build I just made, and I've been using this in Act 1. I started doing this in Trial of Chaos because I was really struggling, and this time I think I got it this time. This time it's working so well. So we're gonna talk about I have some gameplay, I'm gonna talk about the gems, the gear, everything that you can use with this build. Alright, so we're gonna start with the skill gems, of course. So we have the Life Remnants, so this is from our Ascendancy, Blood Mage, it's the first one. Then we have the Flame Wall, so this one, very important, I'm gonna explain everything to you guys. So Flame Wall, you're gonna place a Flame Wall and then use the Spark. Spark is my main skill for damage. And I always place a Flame Wall and Orb of Storms, okay? And then I spam Spark, basically. So Flame Wall, the projectiles will go through your Flame Wall and will do more damage. Will do lightning damage and fire damage as well. So then I have this support skill just to make that wall bigger, and then this one just to make it last longer. So this time I can spam my skills longer with this effect. Then I left the Lightning Warp. Sometimes this one helps me just to get rid of hard situations, but it's not a big deal. You can use this build without this one. So basically this works like a execute. So when they are low HP, I can use this. Sometimes I use it to recover my HP with this support gem, and this one will increase the area damage, because when you use this, it's gonna do explosion and spread that damage. So this one is not that important in this build. If you want to use it, then will be nice. Eventually I'm gonna swap this with one of the buff runes that is related with critical strikes and stuff, but it's a level 13 gem and I don't have it yet, but eventually I'm going to swap this for another buff. As you guys can see, I have 3 at the moment. I have Grim Fist, this one really good as well, another buff. This one will spawn Grim Remnants and these ones will increase my shield, so I can collect those Grim Remnants, I can collect these Life Remnants, I'll get shield, I'll get HP, and with this support rune will help with my mana regeneration, because guys, you spend a lot of mana with this one. Then we have Spark. Spark is the main ability I'm using. This one is very good, it's gonna spread projectiles for everywhere. If it's a close space, even better, because they will be traveling everywhere and killing every monster enemy that is around. Then I have this one. This one is very important, this support gem, because every time you do a critical hit will trigger Mana Flare, and this Mana Flare will do some damage, okay? It's like an explosion, will do some damage. It's based on the current mana I have. Then I have this one that will increase my elemental damage for when I'm using this skill, so I spam it, and for each skill used recently will of a different type, elemental type, will increase my damage of all my skills. But since I'm using the 3 elements, this works very well. Then this one will gain 25% in critical hit chance each second until reach 100%. So because with this I can increase the chance to get this critical hit and trigger Mana Flare. Then we have the Mana Remnants. This one is to help with mana, so 25% chance to spawn Remnant when killing a shocked enemy, and they will spawn a Remnant on critical hitting shocked target, okay? So we gonna get a lot of these with critical hit. As you guys gonna see on my build, I'm using a lot of nodes with critical hit as well. Then Mana Tempest is the one I use when it's a big quantity of monsters and I really want to kill them fast. I can use Mana Tempest or against a boss. So basically my strategy is to freeze the boss, and then I use these skills together. So will be Spark, Flame Wall and the Orb of Storms, and will be massive damage. Then a Frost Bomb. This one I just use to build some freeze, some cold exposure and stuff like that. It will help a lot. Oh, I forgot to talk about this one. So support gems for Mana Tempest. I have this one, will start recharging my energy shield, and this one will make it cast faster, but you don't really need this one. because this is already very fast to cast. Then Frost Bomb, this one, as I said, is to build that freeze. With this support gem will shield the ground when they freeze the enemy, and this one will increase the freeze duration on enemies. Then we have the Orb of Storms. This one is very good as well. So when I spawn this and the wall as well, this one will make my, if I'm standing near that orb, will make fire bolts every 2.9 and 95 seconds when I use a skill near that orb. So I'll be spamming sparks from this Orb of Storms and wall, and they'll go through the flame wall and create even more projectiles. This one will help to penetrate 30% of lightning resistance, because I'll be using a lot of lightning, and also will give me 100% more chance to shock, because if I shock the enemies, my damage will be 20% more as lightning. And then Frost Wall is very important as well. I use it in 2 situations. When I'm stuck with enemies, and if I can't move, I'll just spam walls nearby. They will be frozen, and then I can kill them like instantaneously, and will build freeze on the enemies or on the boss. So it's very, very useful. And then I use this support gem that will increase the freeze build up, and this one will increase the exposure as 30% increased effect. So exposure here will decrease the resistance from the enemy, and in this build I'm using all the 3 elementals: lightning, fire and ice, and they are working very, very well. So let's talk about the combination of my skills and how I use them. So when I'm just farming, I usually just use Orb of Storms and Flame Wall. If it's a big wave of enemies, I spawn the Frost Walls first, then I spam the Orb Storms, Flame Wall and spam Spark. What is gonna happen is that with the Frost Wall, they'll get frozen. Then with the Orb of Storms and Flame Wall, they will be frozen, they will take Ignite, and they will take Shock as well. So it's the 3 elements being active. And I'm talking about this because you guys are gonna see on my passive skill tree that is very important, and it's how I scale my damage on every situation. So basically my cold skills is just for defense and to help me to get rid of dangerous situations. The lightning ones is full damage, and the flame wall as well. Basically when it's a boss, what I do usually, if it's a really hard boss to deal with, I use the frost wall. So you can cast this 3 times. I cast it on the boss, the freeze will build up, I cast the Frost Bomb, they eventually get frozen, and then I just use all the combination of my skills: Orb of Storms, Flame Wall, Mana Tempest and Spark, and I do as much damage as I can while the boss is frozen. And if he's not using dangerous skills, you can still spam this, but be careful because you can really die easily as a Blood Mage against hard bosses. So basically this is it. Then the passive skill tree, I'm gonna leave the link below because I did this build on max roll first, to guide myself on what to build first. So this is what I have at the moment. I have this one, the Life Remnants, and now I got the Leash as life, because it's gonna help a lot to keep me alive, and then eventually I'll go to this one, okay? This one to increase my critical damage bonus, and eventually I don't know if I'm going to this one or if I go to this one. No, not the curses. If I go to this one or this one, not really sure, but possibly I think I'll go with this one. But for now I'm pretty sure I'll get this one, and then I'll think about that. Will be my next point on ascension. So on this one I got these first ones, they'll increase my spell damage, and then I got to this side because these ones here will increase my mana regeneration, life regeneration, these ones as well, and then this one will increase critical hit chance and give me strength and intelligence and increase my damage. Then from this side I got these ones which will increase my critical hit chance for spell damage bonus and critical hit chance for spells. These ones, same thing, as you guys can see, I'm trying to maximize my critical hits. Then I got to the top and got these ones as well. These ones will increase my critical hit chance and spell damage. and then this one will give you 25%, 25 more intelligence, which is very good for blood mages. And now I'm going to this side because I want to get these ones. I already got these ones, which increase my critical strikes chance again. And then this one, very important at the moment. So since I'm applying Ignite, Shock, and Freeze, I can get a lot of damage. And why? So this one, if I ignite the enemy recently, will increase my elemental damage by 30%. If I chilled an enemy recently, I'll increase 30%, and if I choked an enemy recently, will increase my damage 30%. So if I'm using the 3 elements, means I'm increasing my damage 90%, because I'm using, at the same time, I'm using ice, fire, and lightning all the same time, and increasing my damage for a lot. Okay, so my next step, I'll show you the max roll tree I've made, but my next step is go this way, get these ones with critical strike damage bonus and critical strike chance. These ones as well, they are very good, and they'll increase my damage if I dealt a critical hit. And then possibly I'll get these ones, which will increase the exposure and the elemental damage, and eventually I'll get to these ones. Okay, these ones will increase my duration of elemental ailments and elemental damage and stuff. So probably I'll get this one, but I'm not sure. I keep changing my build, but let me grab this and show you guys. So yeah, this is what I'm planning to do. As you guys can see, I already did this one. I want to get this one. Maybe I'll get these ones because they'll increase my damage bonus as well, but I'm not sure about this one. So I'll get these ones. Maybe I'll complete there. I get this one for sure. Oh, these ones as well, I forgot. And then these ones eventually. Okay, but for now, I just want to go this way, get these ones. I get a jewel socket as well, which is very good and will work a lot better. So this is my build. It's working very well. Some people have been afraid these builds get nerfed. I don't think my build is like broken. Okay, you guys can see from the gameplay, I don't one-shot anything, but it's very good to farm, it's very good for bosses, but you still need to know what you're doing. It's not just 2 keys, you need to do a combination of all the spells, and that combination will do a lot of damage. So now we'll show you some gameplay, and while I'm showing the gameplay, I'm gonna explain what I use. I already told you, but it's easier to show on a video than just explaining by words. So to farm, if there are just a few monsters, I use the Orb of Storms and Flame of Wool and Spark, and I will kill them easily. If it's a bigger wave, because sometimes I am not just, I don't kill every minion that comes to me, I just walk, and when it's a big wave, then I kill them, all of them at the same time. There's 2 ways you can do this with this build. So I'll spawn the first wall, and then I have time. Since I've got the first wall, they can't attack me, and I have more time to cast all my skills. So I spawn the first wall, and then I get the flame wall, Orb of Storms, and I spawn Spark. If it's a bigger wave and loads of monsters, and I really need to kill them fast, especially if there's a rare monster there, I use the Tempest, Mana Tempest as well, and you guys are gonna see they will be decimated. There's no chance. Sometimes I use Frost Orb as well if I see I'm in a too dangerous situation and I really need to be saved. Then I use this. Sometimes I use the Lightning Orb just to get out of there, because I can literally teleport to another enemy. For bosses, I just finished the Act 1, so I'm gonna show the last boss. What I did is spawn the Frost Wall 3 times, as much as I can on the boss. Frost Bomb as well. Eventually the freeze will be up, will build up, it will be frozen, and then after that I use Orb of Storms, I use the Mana Tempest, Flame Wall, and spam Spark until I can't do it anymore. And then I do as much as damage as I can. As you guys can see, the damage is very good, and then I'll just repeat that sequence. It's basically that. Hope you guys enjoy this build. Tell me on the comments what you think about this build, if I should do some changes, because I've been working on this build. It's progressing, getting better each time, each day. So we'll see if I keep doing this build. Probably I think I'm just gonna change the Lightning Warp for another buff that will improve my critical strike, and that's basically it. Okay guys, Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna leave you guys with some more gameplay, so stay tuned for more content, more builds. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, leave that like and subscribe to my channel if you want to follow more content about Path of Exile 2. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.
The air grows colder. Agnar the Impaler. As swift as death. And imbued by the moon. Cursed or gifted. Branded and afflicted. Your veins soon chilled. Agnar shall slay again. I smell your blood. And I am ravenous. Desolation. I will take out your heart and savor each bite. Allow me to clear your mind, if only for a moment. The madness, it consumed my being. Oriana used it against me.
Where has she taken the beast?
I found messages from the desert.
From the Vastiri?
Yes. Find her. Kill her. But first, please, stop the madness.
As you wish. We must make haste. Let us return to Clearfell to make our preparations.